I don't know. But you said it came across on Spotify and what?
So then I had heard something mentioned in the conversation with Alex about her having a squeeze toy
Yeah.
or some stress ball or something like that. And then I saw it on YouTube yesterday and I went, oh, okay, that's what it was. So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Because you were talking about how, like, I guess the post can be, I guess the topics could be funny or it could be thought provoking, and that's why I was just basically saying credit to everybody that comes on because they get nervous, which is understandably so. Not everybody. It's like
yeah,
public speaking in a way because you're being recorded,
it is. I
right?
mean, I've done, gosh, I don't know, between 12 and 15 podcasts in the last couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I speak a lot and I speak at international conferences and regional conferences a lot. Um, this is kind of wild. I'm the only white man who was elected to the California NAACP board.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. But I did that because my advocacy, I had some patients who were complaining about being pressured to put their kids on ADHD drugs. And I was in the postgraduate neurology program. And so this one single mom said, hey, I need some help. And I'd gone to this benefit dinner just to see movie stars, right? Paid a couple $100 for my plate, my wife's plate, and saw movie stars. That was cool. But it was this mental health, civil rights benefit.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was wild. There was these mothers. And I mean, this was from California to New York and from Florida to Michigan. And there were these mothers that had been creating this thing called Able Child, and they were helping to advocate against parents who, if you didn't want to drug your kids, there was this pressure by schools to use child protective services against them. And that to me is dirty play. Like the parents should be able to make that choice. I know some people disagree, but stimulants, they're scheduled drugs. They're highly addictive. They cause strokes and heart attacks. Like you shouldn't be giving them out the way that we were. I don't think we're doing it as much, but still, America consumes 90% of all mental health stimulants. So there's something to be said about that
Yeah.
Europe isn't doing. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, so a lot of black and brown children were being pushed into that system. Parents were asking for, usually single moms were asking for help in the NAACP, and I was pretty effective. And so I've spoken at Congress, I've spoken at the state legislature in California. And so the NAACP asked me to join the logo branch. And I learned so much. And I'm really grateful to, he's now the president, I think, of the whole West Conference. But his name's Rick Callender. He's the CEO of the Santa Clara Valley Water District. He's a double congressional fellow. I mean, he's a really smart guy. And he educated me so much on the political process. And I could go on and on about that. But anyways, so that I have a wild background.
I did not know that about you. I mean, that is, well, I mean, I knew a little bit about your medical background, um, but not to this degree where you essentially were an advocate for that.
Oh
Which
yeah,
now it makes me wonder, like, what is your position on ADHD? Because I mean, there's a lot of different topics, right, and
right.
or a lot of different perspectives, and I guess, and the bad thing is, I would say, is that we get too passionate about our perspectives, right? So
Yes.
like you with your neurological background, you at some point, correct me if I'm wrong, you either did research or you were a physician. Which one
So
was it, or both?
both. I didn't do research in a clinical lab. So I was doing research as part of it's called the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. And then that's where I first got educated about this. And then working with the NAACP, I was the co-chair of the health committee because it's a great organization. It was actually founded by more white people than black people back 110, 115 years ago. But it's it is the pretty much the black civil rights organization. And so being on the health committee, we worked on a lot of stuff: HIV, diabetes, sickle cell, a lot of different things that were affecting black people. But my main thing was, if you didn't want to drug your children and you needed help, I was a resource to help understand that, to go to the schools. Because so my position on ADHD, I mean, it's contrarian for sure. Is one, it was voted. So there's this thing about, it's clear that people have mental duress and have mental issues and need help. And I'm a big advocate of talk therapy. Drugs are easy. drugs are high profit, and so there's a lot of effort and push in America to push pharmaceutical solutions. However, the Psychiatric Association has that DSM, what is it, 10?
5 TR.
5. Okay, 5. Right. It used to be DSM 4. Yeah, it's ICD 910 now. Sorry, for other diagnoses. So, the American Psychiatric Association has its own diagnostic and statistical manual. Open that book and show me a page where there's any statistics in that book.
No, it just gives you probably just what to look for and how often, the frequency and duration, and what.
Yeah,
symptoms.
there's no statistics.
Mhm.
It says it in the title, but there's never been statistics in there. But it also, they vote in and out disorders. So homosexuality used to be a mental disorder.
Yes.
Right? Then they voted it out. Why? Because enough gay psychiatrists got in there and they voted it out. You can't vote out diabetes as a diagnosis. You can't vote out tinea pedis, right? It's, basically foot fungus. So I always had an issue with that.
The voting. So if you're able to vote in or vote out a diagnosis, is it really a diagnosis? Is that kind of what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when Tom Cruise spoke during his War of the Worlds movie, he had what people tried to blow up, but it was a good interaction with Matt Lauer, who used to be on the Today Show, and he was talking about ADHD, and so there was a call for people to speak about this. I did 86 radio shows in 3 weeks.
Jeez.
It was crazy. I took my vacation.
So this is a walk in the park for you, because you got some phones and a DJI
Yeah,
camera,
this is awesome. Yeah.
and a
I love
DJI
your
camera
setup,
pointing
yeah.
at you.
So,
It's a poor
anyways.
man setup. It's not going to be anything that you're used to, sir. I apologize for that.
Please.
I hope you're not expecting any money out of this, because I don't
Not
get
at
paid.
all.
If anything, I'm in a negative.
No, and I know we're far away from just a conversation on the mat about jiu-jitsu, but so I've always been an advocate. I've considered myself an educator who helps people improve their lives, whether that was in physical medicine and rehab, so neck pain, back pain, numbness, tingling, or what I did in the NAACP, or what I've done with a lot of different nonprofits. And then, my background, right? So I'm a department chief for the medical group. Healthcare in America is a very unhealthy system for anyone who's had to go through things, and not just for themselves, but if you have aging parents, you're going to run into issues there we have to advocate. So I quit, found this niche industry of doing diagnostic tests on machines instead of humans. So like on a human, we'll do a blood draw,
Mm-hmm.
right? We'll put sensors on your chest and look at the beats of your heart. Well, come to find out, there's these whole diagnostic tools that you put on machinery, like in the chemical plants and refineries or manufacturing places. And so instead of doing a blood draw, we'll do an oil sample. Instead of doing an EKG on your heartbeats, we'll put sensors on the machines and look at how they vibrate. So now I have this company that does all that stuff for plants. And I mean,
That's a good little summary of all the credentials that you have and
Oh,
all the
thanks.
advocacy you've done.
yeah.
Now I know a lot more than I knew back then. So
So
you've probably been the most. I've been told that Professor Mariana might have done some television in Brazil. I don't know. So other than her, you, or maybe even you, may be one of the more public people, or one of the most, up to this point, one of the people that's had more interviews. So therefore, for you, this is just a walk in the park. Because like I said, 2 phones and a DJI.
yeah, no, it's awesome. I love it. You're
So what brought you here? What brought you to it? Was
Okay.
I loved
Yeah.
all that. That was
Thank you.
awesome,
Okay.
and I want to talk about it more, but obviously we were
Yeah,
time sensitive.
time
But
sensitive, and it's not the format. So what brought me here? So I'm that demographic of jiu-jitsu guy who is over 50, got divorced, and I needed an outlet that swimming 1,000 to 15 yards a day wasn't fulfilling, running 4 to 6 miles a day wasn't fulfilling, and lifting weights wasn't fulfilling. And I was captain of my water polo team in college and played water polo in the Masters division, and I've been to nationals a couple of times. So I was used to a physical altercation type stuff with water polo.
Yeah.
And then, you can't sleep, right? Your mind's racing all the time. And I did every single thing to try to help me with sleeping, with substances, not illicit or anything, but, valerian root, and what else? Tryptophan, all those kind of things. Couldn't sleep. So I thought, I need to do something more physical. And then I'm reading Jocko Willick's book,
Extreme Ownership.
Team, yeah, that
Extreme
one,
Ownership, yeah.
and then the other one, Extreme Ownership, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then listening to different podcasts, And Joe Rogan is a podcast that advocates jujitsu, but Jocko really advocates jujitsu. And I thought maybe I'll try it. And the funny part was I was living in an apartment on the edge of town, and there was a jujitsu place. I went in there and just heavy hard sell. Hey, we'll do a free week, but you need to pay for a whole year in advance. You need to do all this.
Made you feel like you were buying a car?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I was like, I don't get into gym memberships. I don't buy used cars like that, and I am not getting into this thing. And the guy kept calling me back and started to be a little bit belittling and a bit belligerent. I was like, we're done. Then I ended up moving over by the high school, be closer to my kids. And I thought, just because that happened doesn't mean that jiu-jitsu is bad. It just means that one place of those people. So I'd been hearing about Gracie, so I looked it up. I moved here in 2012. I've been going to the Kroger just over there for years. Never knew this place was here. Never knew it.
Yeah.
And because it just says Gracie Baja, which, shout out to your marketing people. That's cool, but I think it says jiu-jitsu now, or it should, because I didn't know what a Gracie Baja was. And I thought it was a bar, right? So I'm like, is that some sort of bar?
I wonder what the women's like over there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm divorced.
I'm like, I thought those were on Telephone Road.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I called and they said, you can come get a free hour, no commitment, no nothing. And Victor was my instructor. He was fantastic. Marcelo was so nice. And I've heard it say many times, like, this is home. Like, I forget, there was one other person who used to be at West Chase, and now him and his son are here.
Her name escapes me.
It's fine. Watch one of the other episodes, people. But he talked about this is home, and they.
Oh, you're talking about Richard?
Okay.
He was on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard.
Okay, good.
I didn't know you were talking about somebody different. Sorry.
No worries. So I felt so comfortable here. Everybody was so welcoming, and it was fantastic. So, and until jiu-jitsu, nothing in this world that I did came close to the physical exertion. I didn't even started doing Krav Maga, and I decided I didn't want to learn more of that because that is a martial art designed to maim and murder immediately, which I get. If I lived in Israel and I was, following the Star of David, I absolutely would want to know how to maim and murder people immediately because you live in that dangerous of a place. But we don't live that way. And in water polo, you learn how to wrestle men in a 10-foot deep water tank, right?
Yeah.
And so, not that I've gotten in a lot of fights or looked for fights, but I've been in some altercations. And all I know is my water polo moves. And so I wanted to know more. That's why I actually went to Krav Maga. And I went, no, this is a little too brutal. So Professor Marcelo told me, he goes, this is something where you can be in control and you won't have to hurt somebody, right? You don't have to pull a gun or something like that, which I've been coming to Texas since 1970. My family's from South Texas. My grandparents are buried in McAllen, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dad, my aunt, and sorry, Uncle Ray. I thought my uncle had all graduated from high school in Brownsville. Coming to find out, my uncle did not. He was encouraged to join the military and join the Navy.
Okay.
So I just learned that not too long ago. But I still have cousins and an aunt that live down in South Texas, and I still have cousins all around Texas. So I've been coming to Texas since 1970, and I'd come every few years to visit. So I've always loved Texas. 2011, I could see the writing on the wall that California politically and economically was going in a direction that I didn't want to participate in. And if you're not in tech in Silicon Valley, where I grew up, making $150,000 to $200,000 a year, you're poor. It's 12% income tax over there.
Yeah.
State income tax, and everything's 30 to 40% more expensive. So,
yeah.
But the bigger thing was the business did more. I did more business in Texas, specifically in the greater Houston area, than anywhere else. So come back around here. So I start enjoying it. I start meeting people. I was just a little bit behind John Gonzalez.
Yeah, yeah.
And so him and I were training partners for a while. And then Min, has been great. And so many other people have been great.
So did you find what you were looking for?
I found that it exhausted me.
Well, I was talking about as far as like swimming, lifting, running wasn't cutting it anymore.
Yeah. Those are individual sports. water polo is a team sport, but I couldn't play water polo. There was no one to play masters water polo. And so those individual things are great, but you can still get in your head, and that was something that was difficult for me. Like, you can be lifting weights and be thinking about something else.
Yeah.
You can be swimming and think about something else. You can be running and you're thinking about something else. Jiu-jitsu, you better not be thinking about anything but defending your neck.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I like that quote from Danaher of jiu-jitsu is highly complicated problem solving with dire consequences.
Yes.
And so, and then John was just saying, yeah, murder yoga.
Murder yoga. Yeah.
So that's what I loved about it, is it got me out of my head. I had to pay attention. I had to be thinking about, how am I going to escape this? Like, even when we were just rolling there, right? I have developed a bad habit of letting my arm come out and get stretched and get either an arm bar or
your back
leg
taken.
turtle. Yeah. So,
Yep.
and what I find is the higher belts, it seems that y'all are 3 steps forward and I'm still 1 or 2. And so I'll think I'm moving here. Like, John was hilarious. I don't know if you heard him laughing, because
He's always laughing about something.
Yeah. Well, he's laughing because you give him, right? I think I make a move and I'm like, this is great. And he goes, aha. And you go, I'm going to die, but I don't. Oh, now. Oh, yeah. That bad. Oh, okay. Tap.
That's a good impersonation. Yeah, that was a good impression of him. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I learned a lot with him. And then I was rolling with Grant. Grant's fantastic and just so technically proficient.
Yeah.
He falls in a turtle. And I'm like, how are you? You are literally an impenetrable wall.
Yes.
And and I find myself still trying to think, okay, what about this? What about that? So that's why I've liked jiu-jitsu so much. I wish, how do I say that? It's not that I wish I was able to find other places like the Pearland, Baja, around the country. But I didn't know when I went to California, there's no Gracies. It's some other, well, there's no this type of Gracie. There's a different type of branch of the family, I guess, that got California. So it wasn't as easy to find those things.
Yeah, I don't know how. There's not any at all.
It's a completely different branch.
There was a couple, but I don't know. I haven't looked it up.
There are, but like there's Henner Gracie.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not this
Gracie Baja. Yeah, it's
he's
Gracie
not
Jiu-Jitsu.
the white G on red logo.
Gracie
right?
Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, they have their other Gracie Academy or whatever. So, and I'm sure I'd be able to roll there, but I was just looking for this.
Right.
So, because I've rolled with other places like here in, Austin, in Odessa, in Washington, D.C., in New York. And so, although New York wasn't exactly, but anyways, so, but I like coming here because it's a consistency. So I went to one place that wasn't, and they were just all over the map. And I'm a systems guy who wants to follow a procedure.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I've brought to what we call condition monitoring and predictive maintenance for industrial asset management. Is I walked in and I was like, well, what's your protocol? And they're like, what do you mean? You just kind of figure it out. I went,
that doesn't work for me.
That doesn't work. You wouldn't want to see a doctor and like, hey, I'm still figuring this out, but keep coming to me.
Yeah.
And hopefully in 3
I'll
years,
get better each time.
Exactly. Like, no. So, I got a book coming out at the end of the year.
Oh.
So.
Dang, man.
Yeah. It's, I was challenged 5 years
ago. I don't think
ago.
coming on here will make you a bestseller with you being episode 10 or 11. So we're still a baby, but
let's go.
I can say that I've had an author on here.
Yes.
And a member of the NAACP.
So not to be not the most interesting man in the world. There's a guy, Tom Brodsky. Tom Brodsky is the most interesting man in the world, and I'm very privileged to be a colleague and a friend of his. And he's who I went to Poland to go hunting with last year.
Oh, okay. So what's his book? What is his book?
So the book is called The Doctor Is In, and it's how I took what I know from healthcare and medical diagnostics into industrial asset management for machines.
Oh.
And so
How long did it take you to write that?
Oh, well, 5 years ago is when the idea was started. I think, no, actually 10 years ago, the idea was started. So I've been writing it over the past 6 months. So
It's your first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've written articles. I'm So I'm a published author, but they're just articles. So
Just articles.
yeah, well, it's not a
From,
book, right?
but yeah, but they're
I know.
recognized journals. This isn't a Wikipedia page.
Well, no, it's not like it's the
Or a
American
blog.
Journal. Yeah, no, it's not like it's Spy
Or like
magazine.
Creed. You
or
ever
something.
watch The Office?
Yes.
Okay, Creed's blog.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's not. It's not that where Ryan sets up a Word document and thinks it's his blog. This is legit, research.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say before we conclude?
One, thank you so much for having me on here.
No, pleasure's
Two,
mine.
jiu-jitsu has been a great part of improving my life and helping me look at problems and knowing you're going to run into things 3 or 4 times down the road. And so when you hit a barrier, this is something why I like sports people I hire people that played sports, is you're always going to hit a barrier. So you need to know you're going to hit a barrier and don't give up. You then will move to another thing to see what's going on. And so I love how that continues to be the drill of moving forward. You're trying to do something that didn't work. Try something else. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And it's something I coach in water polo for my son's teams, and something I tell my staff is you can't stop. There's always got to be a solution.
Well, thanks, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Thank you.